game is a constant journey. It doesn't matter if it's meeting women or making progress in a relationship. What's something you guys have learned only recently, or something you think about recently? So, just an example of Dan a few weeks ago, not so long ago, he was thinking about the attraction pyramid. I remember you were saying. So, Dan knows what I'm talking about. But do any of you guys have I know you have been in this for however many years individually, anything you have learned recently?
Fuck, recently. I feel like I'm always finding tiny little things. The thing that I'm probably learning most of all recently, is being more from like coaching point of views, to be honest, right? So I think like I went through a journey in like game, where I went from, you go through the stages, you learn to get over AA, you learn to build attraction, you learn to deal with like objections, all shit like this. Then, learning relationship management we spoke about before, learning like sexual competency, going through all those stages. I think like where I am at personally in game is now like really narrowing in on like the coaching side of things, because that's a whole nother skill set in itself. So it's like small nuances on, okay, how do people respond best to the feedback that I'm giving them? Like, should I be pushing them harder? Should I hold back? Do I need to dive deeper into mindsets for them? Like all things like this. But I mean, otherwise, a lot of the game shit, the little light bulb moments come across a lot less often once I think with any skill that you spend so much time on and kind of mastering away.
Mhm. Dan?
I would say I'm opposite, like, from that, like, like after 20 years in a game, like, really, like, every time, like, I'm coaching a new guy as well, like, or like, I'm like doing something, it's like something like some new level, something opposite, but really like on it was in front of me, like, because my brain is crazy. I see fucking diagrams, I see formulas nonstop, like, when I'm like, doing stuff and talking with girls. So it's just kind of like humor is this plus that, like, so yes, it's, I don't know, like, like for example, the attraction thing, like, or basically I was having a coffee, and one afternoon I'm like, fuck, like, I see it, like, finally after 20 years I see the whole attraction like pyramid in front of me, like, all possible ways how you can, kind of do it. I'm like, is it everything what guys been talking about, energy, personality, energy, like, then like seduction tools, blah blah blah, so like all the way up to like, to the bullshit that society is telling. So yes, I keep learning. I would say my latest shift was more based conversation and attraction based on her needs. Okay, so not like, from, okay, what I want, like, but more, okay, let's go first when you approach, and basically whole, maybe like, let's say whole approach and cold approach more, because I mean that's what sales is, like, what kind of sandwich do you're not gonna buy sandwich that you're not gonna eat, or the food or something. You'll buy something close to what basically what you had on your mind, what you want to eat. So trying to find her needs in a conversation and say it, I'm that guy. But really starting from digging into her needs in a conversation in a very nice, like I would say, subtle way, like in a conversation, to find out what kind of guy she would actually want to buy, and then like, go. I mean, of course, attraction, what they search in a man is pretty much 80% from girl to girl is always the same, but it's 20% adjustment from girl to girl is really like, what's getting the girl.
I like that answer. What kind of questions would you ask to investigate that?
Oh, I mean, it's very subtle, like, I'm trying to find she more into the spiritual world, she's more physical or emotional type, how she's responding to the touch, to physical, like, that. And then I go slowly, like, like you can even ask a girl, tell me, like, what's your ideal man, like, what you're searching for, like, like you can even go full direct. It's like, this is my type of girl, like, what you're searching for, like, and then, she will not always, but like, she'll point the direction where you want to go, like, and then I'm usually testing a little bit of like, dominance, how she's, because it's all feedback, how she's responding to my touch, stronger, softer, like lots of little testing, but actually in the end the profile comes out. Okay, like she wants to, she wants this guy.
I like that. Yeah, I think that's super advanced, is like figuring out the archetype of the girl.
So basically,
I
what,
like that.
and I would say that's kind of what my breakthrough is, like, Instead of lots of guys, they're running static game. They
Mm-hmm.
always run the same fucking game. Okay, like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's static attraction, static game. I move from to the dynamic.
Yep.
You know, really, like, you know, figure out what are her needs, what she wants to buy, what kind of guy she wants tonight, and then be that guy. Because we all can be. You can be nice guy, you can be like, you know, badass, like, you know, dominant, you know, and the whole spectrum of that, like, you know, so
Yeah.
it's all you.
Yeah, I like that. Asking girls like, what's your type? What was her ex like? If she's like, my ex was a toxic, manipulative asshole, then I'm probably going to be a little bit of an asshole. Like, I think that's good. As you said, like 80% of the time, like your static game will work on 80% of women, right? But it's like these archetypes of girls, like, you know, the brats, for example. If you have a very bratty girl, you have to be able to understand how to actually work that archetype. Otherwise, you're never going to fuck her. So yeah, I love that idea. Like finding out exactly what the girl's actually into and then being able to demonstrate that. It's really cool.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I do basically when I'm coaching guys. Like, you know, I give them the list of the whole basic attraction list of like, you know, 20, 30 traits that you should have, and you need to figure out how to display it. You need to be that guy, you know, confident, dominant, like, you need to be able to show it, be it and show it. Like, and then you pick and choose in the conversation what she wants, what she needs. Perfect. So basically, it's approach tailor-made for her.
So you're talking about calibrating, right?
Oh yes, it's all about calibration. Like, I'm like, you know.
Yeah, but more in a sense, I think when guys hear, like people listening, when they hear calibration, they're probably thinking about compliance and non-compliance. It's like, oh, the girl's not really compliant to me. I need to like shift things up. This is even, I think, for girls that like are, if I go up and the girl's like interested and compliant, it's now more archetypical is like to think about it, right? Is like figuring out, even if she's into me, figuring out exactly what she wants still. So yeah, I guess it's probably a form of calibration, but I think people hearing that probably associate it with something else.
All right, not to be, I feel like I keep being disagreeable, so I'm sorry, guys.
No.
That's okay.
You guys on that one. I'm the one, I guess, in this one. So I don't know. I don't think you should always calibrate. Sometimes, like, I think as a man, you should be in your purpose and your path. And sometimes girls find that sexy. Girls will bend to me personally. Not always. I mean, I do calibrate still. I'm not socially inept, but it's like almost like a balancing act. It's you sometimes, yeah, you like if I do hear a girl where all of her exes were assholes, I know that I need to turn up the asshole knob a little bit. Yeah. But at a certain case too, like, I mean, like if I talk to a girl, my ultimate idea is that I want to be daddy. I want her to look at me in a way to where it's like, I'm the one that is deciding how the world should work. And then my frame is so strong that she falls into it. I mean, certain things I don't lean into. And I do realize that different types of guys do attract different types of girls based on that. And I do calibrate it a little bit, but it's a little bit of a balancing act. I mean, I don't know if this is exactly what you're talking about, by the way, Dan, right?
Yeah, no, it's okay. I mean, but it all depends, like, you know, on what kind of game. And this is, I wouldn't say hit and miss, is more hit than miss. Yes, you know, with a strong personality, they will bend, and they have like a female sort of tendency to kind of glue and be like, frame into you, like, because they are weaker and everything. You froze, by the way, and at least on my computer, like, but when it comes to, like, more, dynamic game, like, it is like, it is more calibrating towards, like, or choosing what kind of guy you're gonna present yourself to her, like, a little bit more cautiously, like, than just kind of being like, that. I mean, even that approach, kind of more old school alpha male, that, my way or highway, it will work.
I think this is a better way to think about it, right? Instead of thinking,
well, sorry, man, go for it.
No, yeah, I was just going to elaborate on that answer, right? Because I think this will help. I think instead of thinking about it in terms of, okay, I'm just going to do whatever the girl likes, right? I was just like, whatever I think she's going to be into, I'm just going to like change to that and like pander to it. I think that's the wrong way to look at it. I think there's different versions of me, okay? There's a different version of me when I fucking am with my friends, when I'm with girls, when I'm fucking, when I'm on this like panel. There's different versions of me. All of those versions are always going to be true to myself. They're always going to be the dominant version of myself. They're always going to be like standing by all my values. It's always going to be me every single time. So when I'm with a girl, right, I might have, to put it like very simply in binary, there might be like a tantrum Marcus and a like fucking daddy Dom Marcus, right? So if I'm with a girl and she's like, look, I like sex to be like very teasing and slow and a real build up, then I'm going to be Tantra Marcus. I'm still going to be I'm still going to be in charge. I'm still going to be leading. I'm still going to have my values, but I'm going to like calibrate to that. Or if a girl's like, listen, I'm a little brat, I need to be punished, then I'm getting out my fucking whip and I'm beating the shit out of this girl. Now, again, it's still like me. I'm not like pandering to her. So I agree with Denton. Like, you don't like, if a girl's like, oh, I really like surfers, I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, I love to surf. Surfing's like my favorite thing in the world. Oh my God, blah, blah. I think it's more like fundamental level about like the emotional triggers you're talking about before, Denton. Like, which one of these am I really going to try hit? So I'd ask myself, why does she like surfers? Okay, maybe like what she really likes is a guy that is like chill and doesn't take life too seriously. So I might start demonstrating those aspects. Does that help with our answer, maybe?
Well, I think I don't know. I think we're we might be honestly talking about different things. I mean,
Let's move on. Next topic, boss.
Okay, yeah, let's go for it.
actually, can I throw a couple things in there real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, never mind. Here, go for it. Next topic.
You're so disagreeable, dude. Okay.
That's why we like him.